So here's your 6 new formulas. This is exciting stuff. And I wrote them next to each other so you could see the comparisons of the reciprocal functions. Here's a way to help you a little bit remember what's going on. Remember, of course, these two are reciprocals of each other. So one thing I know is I noticed that the subtraction has changed order over here. And I know if I want the subtraction to change order, I need to multiply or divide out a -1. So, of course, the inside would look like this, right? And then I just think of it as, oh, I know this is not what really happened, but it's a way for me to remember is that negative just goes up to the top. See, there it is. And then, since I'm really violating some laws of mathematics by taking that negative out, I'll compensate by having an absolute value of u. There's no mathematical reason for that. Remember, these are just strategies for me to remember the difference. And so here, if I take that negative so that I can switch the order, and I put it up top, it's going to turn it into a positive u prime, because I'll have a double negative. And so you notice over here, oh yeah, and then of course the order switched, and to compensate I have an absolute value of u in the denominator. No mathematical reason for that either. These are just strategies and tips that I use to help me remember. And then tangent and cotangent, only difference between them is that negative sign. Other than that, they're exactly the same. So these next ones are just pre-calc problems to get your brain thinking about the inverse trig functions. And I want you to note, so remember to look for principal values for these answers. So now I'm looking for an angle whose sine, and this is how I think of it, it's an angle whose sine is -1/2. So that either has to be, and remember, it has to be between -π/2 then, because that's the range, and +π/2. So if you go back and look at your unit circle, where's the sine value? -1/2, and that would be in 4th through 1st quadrant. So this would be at -π/6. or 30 degrees. And then on this one, I'm looking for an angle whose cosine is 0. But remember, for cosine, the range is 0 through pi. And so again, if you go back and look at your unit circle, my cosine at π/2 is 0. On the second one, when I'm solving, of course, I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to have to peel away the layers. So do not say divide by tangent, because it will make me scream. So I'm going to have to apply tangent inverse to both sides, because tangent inverse will make the tangent go away. And so now those disappeared, they undo each other. And so I'm looking for an angle whose tangent is -1. And again, remember, I'm looking in 4th and 1st quadrant, just like I am for sine. So let's see, tangent would be -1 at -π/4. And since this is a double angle problem, it means that I can probably generate 2 answers. So the next time tangent is -1 would be in 2nd quadrant, which would be 3π/4. And so now when I divide both sides by 2, or multiply by 1/2, I'll have x being -π/8 and 3π/8. And if I notice, those answers are in fact in 1st and 4th quadrants.